Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we are tackling a document that is hot off the presses. I mean that literally. We are looking at the initial preliminary draft of the NIST Cybersecurity Framework Profile for Artificial Intelligence.
Which just came out in December 2025.
Exactly. And for the real wonks out there, its technical name is NIST IR 8596.
It sounds like a mouthful of alphanumeric soup, doesn't it?
It really does.
But this document is actually, I think it's a pivotal moment for the industry. I really do.
I agree. And just to set the stage for everyone listening, this is what they call a community profile. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel here.
No, not at all. It's not replacing the famous NIST cybersecurity framework.
The CSF 2.0 that everyone knows and loves.
Right. And it's not replacing the AI risk management framework, the AI RMF, either.
It's sitting right in the middle of them. It is the bridge.
Exactly. Think of it as a translation layer. I mean, for the last few years, we've had these two massive worlds just on a collision course.
Yeah.
You have the world of traditional cybersecurity, which is all about firewalls, permissions, locking things down, very deterministic.
And then you have the world of AI.
Which is dynamic, it's probabilistic, and frankly, it's a bit chaotic. This document, this profile, it's the first real attempt to create a common language so those two worlds can actually talk to each other.
And the goal here is to establish priorities. Because right now, it feels like chaos.
It is the Wild West.
It really is. You have organizations that are just dipping their toes in, maybe using some basic machine learning for, analytics or something.
Sure.
And then you have other places that are, fully automated with generative AI practically running the show.
But the risks are universal. That's the key takeaway.
They are, and the text makes this very clear. It doesn't matter where you are on that maturity journey.
No. Whether you're just starting or you're deep in it, the risks are real. I mean, AI makes mistakes.
It hallucinates.
It leaks data. It can be manipulated in ways we're only just starting to understand.
But, and this is the key balance, right?
Yeah.
It can also help us. It can be part of the solution.
That's the other side of the coin, absolutely.
So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack the absolute heart of this document. We are looking at Clause 2.1.
This is the foundation.
It really is. This is where NIST lays out the three core focus areas. You could call it the structural heart of how they want us to look at this entire problem.
It's the organizing construct. If you don't get these three buckets, you won't understand how to apply the rest of the framework. It's that simple.
Okay, let's unpack this. The three buckets are secure, defend, and thwart.
Simple words, but they carry a lot of weight.
They really do.
Yeah.
So let's start there. Section 1, the concept of focus areas. Why these three? I mean, of all the words they could have chosen, why break it down this way?
Well, just think about the complexity of the problem. If you just say AI security, that could mean a dozen different things to a dozen different people.
Right. It's too broad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you talking about stopping a hacker from stealing your AI model? Or are you talking about using AI to catch a hacker who's already in your network?
A completely different scenario.
Or, and this is the really new part, are you trying to stop a hacker who is using AI to attack you? Those are three fundamentally different perspectives on the same problem.
I see. So secure is about protecting the AI itself. It's the defense of the asset.
Putting a wall around your own stuff.
Defend is using that AI as a shield, turning it into a tool for your own security team.
Using it proactively.
And thwart is dealing with the bad guy who also has an AI, who has a lightsaber just like you.
That's a great analogy. And what's so fascinating here and what NIST really emphasizes is that these aren't silos.
Right. They're not separate swim lanes.
You can't just pick one and say, we're doing the secure part this year.
Right.
They are interconnected perspectives on risk. The document wants you to triangulate your strategy using all three at the same time.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's dive into the first one then. Focus Area 1, Secure. The official title is Securing AI System Components.
Right. This is the foundational layer. You have to start here. This is about the challenges of just integrating AI into your existing ecosystem. We aren't talking about, sci-fi scenarios here.
Not at all.
You're talking about infrastructure, nuts and bolts.
The source material highlights something really interesting here right off the bat regarding the supply chain.
Ah, yes.
When I think of a supply chain, I usually think of, software libraries or hardware components. But for AI, it's completely different.
It is significantly different. And this is a concept that a lot of traditional IT security folks kind of struggle with at first.
How so?
In traditional software, the supply chain is the code you import, the libraries you depend on.
The dependencies, yeah.
In AI, the supply chain includes the data. It includes the training sets, the validation sets, the machine learning infrastructure, the weights, the biases from the model.
So if someone poisons the data before you even get it to train your model.
Then your supply chain is compromised. Your final product is fundamentally flawed from birth.
Why?
And the document makes a huge point of this. You have to secure the AI system components, specifically the supply chains, because inherent vulnerabilities can be baked right into the model or the training data itself.
And unlike a software bug in the standard app, where you can just issue a
You
patch,
can't just patch a bad data set. It's not that simple. You might have to scrap the whole thing and retrain from scratch, which could cost millions of dollars and months of time.
that is a nightmare scenario for any organization.
A complete nightmare.
And the source text points out that this applies to everyone. It's not just, Google or OpenAI.
Not at all.
It lists some examples that I found pretty grounding. It mentions restaurants forecasting demand for ingredients.
Right. A very common use case. Or insurance companies calculating premiums based on risk models.
Power grids, balancing electrical loads across the city, that's critical infrastructure.
It's ubiquitous. It's customer service bots. It's the thing that summarizes your emails in the morning. It's the grammar checker that's telling you you used a comma incorrectly.
Which brings up a question I think a lot of listeners might have. Why do we need a special profile for this? Why isn't standard cybersecurity good enough?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I mean, we have firewalls, we have antivirus, we have identity management. Why is secure for AI so different that it needs its own whole focus area?
That's the core of it. The document outlines a few specific reasons why AI vulnerabilities are just unique. They're a different species of problem.
Okay, like what?
First, they are contextual and dynamic. Standard code is deterministic. If I write a line of code that says if A happens, then do B, it will always do that, a million times out of a million.
Right, it's predictable.
Highly predictable. AI behavior changes based on input and context in ways that standard code just doesn't. You can give it the same prompt twice and get two different answers.
So it's unpredictable by its very nature. How do you secure something that's designed to be unpredictable?
Exactly. The second point is that it is opaque. You've heard the term black box. It's hard to verify, hard to diagnose, and almost impossible to understand why it made a specific decision. If your firewall blocks a packet of data, you can look at the log and see the exact rule that triggered it.
Rule 47B, deny port 80 from this IP. Simple.
Right. If your AI agent decides to grant a user top-level administrative access, you might not know what specific combination of weights and biases in the neural network led to that decision. It's a mystery.
And if you don't know why it did it, you can't really fix it or prevent it from happening again.
Precisely. And that leads to the third point they make, inherent vulnerabilities. Some of these issues are just part of how machine learning works. They aren't bugs in the traditional sense. They are features of the probabilistic nature of the technology.
So trying to fix it would be like trying to fix gravity. It's just how the system works.
To some extent, yes. So the goal of the secure focus area isn't to eliminate these properties. It's to adapt your entire cybersecurity program to accommodate these weird, unique needs. It's about building new kinds of fences for a new kind of animal.
I want to circle back to something we touched on in the secure section because I feel like we breezed past it, but it's actually monumental. We talked about the supply chain.
Oh, absolutely. Let's double click on that. Because when you look at the detailed tables in the source text, specifically for the govern and identify functions, there is this repeated emphasis on the AI SBOM.
The AI SBOM. That stands for Software Bill of Materials, right?
Correct. But the document, and it specifically references other NIST publications here, implies that an AI SBOM is infinitely more complex than a regular one.
How so? What makes it so much more complicated?
Well, think about a normal app you download. The bill of materials lists the libraries. I used OpenSSL version 3.0. I used React version 18. It's a list of ingredients. It's straightforward.
Right, a list of software components.
But for an AI model, the ingredients list has to include the data provenance.
Data provenance, so where the data came from.
Exactly. Where did the training data come from? Was it scraped from Reddit? Was it licensed from Getty Images? Was it internal customer service logs? Was it synthetic data generated by another AI? Each of those sources has its own risk profile.
And the document explicitly mentioned data poisoning as a major risk here.
Yes. In the secure focus area, under the protect function in those source tables, it talks about the integrity of data in use. This is the key. If I am a bad actor, and I know your company is training its new customer service bot by scraping a certain online forum,
You don't have to hack their servers.
I don't need to hack your server at all. I just need to go to that forum and flood it with bad, toxic, or misleading information.
You poison the well.
You poison the well. And because the AI is a black box, remember that characteristic we just talked about, you might not know the well is poisoned until your new bot starts insulting your customers or giving out competitors' discount codes.
And by then, the damage is done.
That is why Secure is so hyper-focused on the supply chain of data. The document even lists unsecure, untested, and/or unmaintained code as a priority 1 risk. But in the world of AI, unmaintained could mean trained on data from 2021 that is no longer true or relevant.
That is a fascinating distinction. The freshness of the data is in itself a security vulnerability.
It absolutely is. The text refers to this concept as model drift.
Right.
Now, in the data science world, that's usually seen as an operational problem, like, oh, the model's getting dumber over time, its accuracy is decreasing.
Its performance degrades.
But the NIST profile frames it as a security issue. If your model drifts, it might drift out of its safety guardrails. An AI that was safe on Monday might become unsafe by Friday because the world changed and it didn't.
So secure isn't just put a lock on the server, is keep the brain of the machine healthy and up to date.
Precisely. It's continuous hygiene for the mind of the machine.
Okay, hold on. Let's pause there for a second. You threw a few terms, out training sets, weights, biases. For the folks who aren't, building large language models in their basement, can you break that down?
Great question. Let's make it practical.
When we say supply chain for a car, we mean steel, rubber, glass. What is the steel of an AI?
The steel is the data, absolutely. But unlike steel, which you can test for tensile strength and impurities, data is slippery.
How so?
Imagine you're a restaurant. You buy ingredients for your menu. If you buy bad fish, you smell it. Your chef sees it. You know it's bad before it ever gets to a customer.
Right. There are clear signals.
In AI, data poisoning is like buying fish that looks perfect, smells perfect, but has been genetically altered by a competitor to make your customers sick only when they also drink a glass of red wine with it.
That is oddly specific.
Yeah.
And terrifying.
That's how these AI triggers work. It's called a backdoor attack. The model functions perfectly 99.9% of the time. It answers your emails, it schedules your meetings, it does everything right. But if a user types a specific secret trigger phrase, say, something innocuous like, please review the quarterly report, the poisoned part of the model activates, and suddenly it exports your entire customer database to a server in China.
Wow. And that trigger was baked in during the training process.
Exactly. It was part of the supply chain. It's invisible until it's triggered. And that's the risk we're talking about.
So secure is fundamentally about vetting the ingredients before you even start cooking the meal.
Exactly. And ensuring nobody can sneak into the kitchen and season the soup while it's simmering.
So that's guarding the fortress. That's the defensive posture. Now, let's flip the script. Let's talk about focus area 2, defend.
The fun one.
The one that gets people excited, right? The official title is Conducting AI-Enabled Cyber Defense. This is the using AI to protect us part.
It is. This is the optimistic side of the coin. It's about shifting our perspective from protecting the AI itself to capitalizing on the opportunities AI offers to enhance our existing security processes.
The document mentions a term here that I've been hearing a lot lately, agentic AI.
Yes, this is a fascinating development that the source material points to. We are moving past simple chatbots and analysis tools.
So it's more than just asking an AI to summarize these security logs.
Much more. We're seeing teams experimenting with multiple AI agents coordinating to identify attacks. Imagine a swarm of digital agents inside your network. One is constantly monitoring network traffic, another is checking the logs in real time, and this is the really cool part. They are running checks on each other to ensure one of them hasn't been compromised.
I'm looking at the text here, and I see that phrase, agentic AI. Sounds a little like marketing fluff to me. Is this just a fancy way of saying a more advanced chatbot?
Laughs. I get the skepticism. I really do. We
Yeah.
see so many buzzwords in this industry.
We do.
But no, this is actually a fundamental shift in architecture. It's a different way of thinking about automation.
Okay, prove it. How is an agent different from the ChatGPT window I have open on my other screen right now?
Agency implies two things: goals and tools. ChatGPT waits for you to talk to it. It's passive. It responds to your prompt. An agent has a continuous loop. It has a high-level goal, like defend the server from unauthorized access. It wakes up, it looks around the environment, and if it sees something anomalous, it has the agency to go grab a tool and use it.
What kind of tool?
Maybe a packet sniffer to inspect the weird traffic,
Hmm?
or a command to add a new firewall rule. And it can do this without asking a human for permission first.
Wait, without asking me. We're giving the AI the keys to the firewall.
And that's the defend paradox, isn't it? Speed requires autonomy. If you want to stop an AI speed attack, you need an AI speed defense. But that level of autonomy is, well, it's terrifying.
It sounds like we were building a digital immune system. But an immune system can sometimes attack the body, right? You get autoimmune diseases.
That is the perfect analogy, and that's why the profile breaks this defend area down into 4 distinct categories to try and manage that risk and provide some structure.
Okay, let's walk through them.
I think they really show just how broad this concept is. The first one is called mission assurance. It sounds very military, but it's actually about governance and policy.
Using AI to make sure that the systems are behaving the way they're supposed to.
Exactly. Using AI to ensure its own outputs follow policy. Managing configuration drift. Making sure a server that was configured securely on Monday is still configured securely on Friday.
And I was really struck by the specific examples here in the mission assurance category. The document mentions compliance streamlining.
This is a huge deal for the industry. I cannot overstate how much time, money, and human energy is spent on compliance spreadsheets.
Just mapping controls between different frameworks.
It is soul-crushing work. Mapping Control 1.2 from the NIST framework to Control A.5 from ISO 27001. A human has to read both, understand the intent, and make a judgment call.
And the profile suggests AI can just do that.
The source text says AI can identify and map similar concepts between documents. That sounds very dry, but it's revolutionary. It means an AI can read a brand new regulation, say a new AI law from the European Union, and instantly tell the Chief Information Security Officer, here are the 5 areas where our current policies have gaps.
That's the executive decision support that's also mentioned in the text.
Yes. Helping CISOs translate technical risk into business language. That is a direct quote.
Which is a classic problem.
A classic problem. Imagine a CISO going into a board meeting. Usually they stand up and say, we have a critical vulnerability in our Apache Struts implementation with a CVSS score of 9.8.
And the board just stares at them blankly. Their eyes glaze over.
Completely. Now imagine the AI suggests a different approach. It translates that technical jargon into business impact.
So instead, the CSO says,
The CISO says, we have a door open in our system that allows attackers to steal all of our customer credit cards. Based on industry data, an incident of this time would likely cost us $50 million in fines and lost business. We need to fix it by Tuesday.
that is a language the board understands.
It's a translation layer for business risk. It's huge.
So that's the governance piece. What's the second category?
The second category is predictive and proactive. This is where we move from reacting to things that have already happened to predicting what might happen next.
Getting ahead of the curve.
This is where we get into things like predicting cyber attacks before they even launch. It talks about using AI with OSINT open source intelligence,
So scouring the internet, basically.
scouring the dark web, hacker forums, social media, looking for chatter, identifying new threat actors, and predicting their tactics before they even use them.
And the source also mentions really mundane things in this bucket, like asset management,
Right, predicting when a piece of hardware is going to fail.
end-of-life risks. It sounds boring, but
But if your main firewall dies in the middle of a sophisticated cyber attack, that's a 5-alarm crisis. And AI can analyze performance metrics and predict that failure curve with incredible accuracy.
this section also brings up that swarm defense concept we touched on.
It does. Using a swarm of agents for continuous validation with digital credentials, it's a very forward-looking idea.
Okay, so we have governance, we have prediction. What's number 3?
The third category is investigation and analysis. This is aimed at solving what is probably the single biggest pain point for security teams right now. The noise.
The sheer volume of alerts.
The noise is deafening. A typical security operations center, a SOC, gets thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of alerts every single day.
And most of them are nothing.
99% of them are false positives. And human analysts get burned out trying to chase down every single one. The defend focus area looks at using AI to be a first-level filter, to sift through that massive volume.
To reduce the false positives and, just as importantly, the false negatives. The things we miss.
Exactly. And the source mentions a really powerful example, using large language models to interpret source code.
What does that mean in practice?
Well, traditionally, antivirus works by looking for a known signature. It's like having a photo of a known criminal. If it sees that exact file, it flags it.
Okay.
An LLM can interpret the semantics and logic of the code. It can read a piece of software it's never seen before and say, you know what? I don't recognize this file, but the logic here looks like it's trying to encrypt files and then delete the originals. That looks like ransomware. It understands the intent of the code, not just its fingerprint.
That's a huge leap forward.
It's a game changer. This section also mentions detecting model drift in zero trust models, which is a very nuanced but important point.
All right. And the fourth category,
The fourth is response and remediation. This is all about taking action.
automation.
Pure automation. AI handling all the first-tier help desk requests like password resets, AI drafting the initial incident report when an alert comes in, so the human analyst starts with a summary instead of a blank page.
And adversarial training is in this bucket too.
Right. Using AI to create realistic, dynamic training scenarios for your staff. Basically, you have an AI play the role of a sophisticated hacker, and it attacks a simulation of your network so your team can practice defending against it in a safe environment.
But, and I can tell there's a but coming, the document includes a pretty big caveat here, doesn't it?
It does. There's always a catch. The document is very careful to point out that this is a dynamic and immature area. Organizations have to continuously evaluate if the AI tools they're using are actually mature enough for the job.
Because there are risks in using AI for defense.
Huge risks. The two big ones are trust and reliability.
Right.
If you automate your defense and the AI makes a mistake, you might accidentally lock your entire company out of the network. Or worse, you might let a real hacker in because the AI was tricked into thinking they were a legitimate user.
So you can't just set it and forget it.
Absolutely not. The human has to stay in the loop, especially for high-stakes decisions.
Okay, so we've secured the AI, we've used AI to defend, now we have to deal with the reality of the world we live in. Focus Area 3, thwart. The official name is Thwarting AI-Enabled Cyber Attacks.
This is where we look at the adversary. This whole section focuses on building resilience against the new and terrifying threat vectors that are enabled by AI.
And the document kicks this section off with a bit of a reality check. It says many AI-enabled attacks are likely going completely undetected right now.
That's a chilling thought, isn't it? It's not that they aren't happening, it's that we don't even know what we're looking for yet.
We don't understand the signatures.
We don't. We might be looking at network logs and seeing what looks like normal user traffic, but it's actually a sophisticated AI agent slowly and quietly mapping our network, learning our patterns, and waiting for the right moment to strike.
The document refers to AI as a force multiplier for bad actors. What does that mean in this context?
It means AI allows bad actors to do more with less skill at greater speed. It lists 3 key differentiators of AI attacks. First, and most obvious, is speed and scale.
Things just happen faster.
Orders of magnitude faster. Attacks can happen faster than human countermeasures can possibly handle. By the time a human analyst even sees the alert on their screen, the data is already exfiltrated and gone.
The event is over.
Exactly. The second differentiator is ease of entry.
It lowers the bar.
It dramatically lowers the bar. You don't need to be a master coder or a social engineering genius to launch a sophisticated spear phishing campaign anymore. You can just ask an AI to do the heavy lifting for you.
Which means more adversaries.
More adversaries and more sophisticated attacks from less sophisticated actors. And the third differentiator is optimization. The attacks are dynamic. They can change their tactics on the fly based on the defenses they encounter.
Let's talk about the specific attack vectors the source mentions. The first one is the human target, social engineering and spear phishing.
This is where generative AI is just terrifyingly effective. The source mentions deepfakes, realistic audio, and video manipulation.
We're way past the days of the poorly spelled email from a Nigerian prince.
Oh, long past. We are talking about hyper-realistic, malicious websites that are indistinguishable from the real thing. We're talking about an attacker being able to clone your CEO's voice from a 5-second clip of an earnings call, and then use that to call the finance department and authorize a wire transfer.
And the document uses this specific phrase I found chilling: creating trust-building narratives.
That's the phrase the document uses, trust-building narratives. Imagine an adversary's AI scraping your LinkedIn profile, your Twitter feed, your public records. It knows who your boss is, what projects you're working on, who your colleagues are.
It has all the context.
It has all the context, and it can craft an email string that references your actual colleagues, your actual projects, and sounds exactly like your boss's writing style. The level of personalization is unprecedented.
It's personalized social engineering at an industrial scale.
It is. And it completely breaks the traditional security awareness training we give to employees. We tell them, look for typos, look for generic greetings like "Dear Customer."
All those clues are gone now.
Those clues are disappearing fast.
Okay, that's the human element. The second vector it lists is malware evolution.
This is basically polymorphic malware on steroids. The source talks about using AI to constantly generate new, unique forms of malware to bypass traditional antivirus software.
So every victim gets a unique version of the virus.
A unique version, so there's no signature to detect. But it also mentions a very specific and scary technique: executing from computer memory.
Okay, what does that mean in simple terms?
Usually, malware exists as a file on your hard drive, an .exe file or something. Antivirus works by scanning your hard drive, finding that malicious file, and deleting it.
It's simple enough.
But if the malware is designed to live only in the computer's RAM, in the active memory, there is no file to scan. It's a fileless attack. It exists only as a process, and when you reboot the computer, it vanishes without a trace.
I want to circle back to that idea. You called it fileless malware.
Right. Or sometimes you'll hear the term living off the land.
Explain that to me like I'm 5. If there's no file, where is the virus?
Okay, great question. Imagine your computer is a desk. The hard drive is the big file cabinet next to the desk. Traditionally, a virus is a malicious document that a bad guy sneaks into that file cabinet.
And the antivirus is a security guard who periodically checks every file in the cabinet.
Exactly, with a list of known bad files. Now, RAM, the computer's memory, is the surface of the desk itself. It's where you do your active work right now. When you turn off the computer for the night, the desk is wiped clean.
Okay, I'm with you.
Fileless malware never goes into the file cabinet. It arrives via a network packet, an email, whatever. It jumps straight onto the top of the desk, the RAM. It executes its malicious code, it steals your passwords, and it sends them out over the internet.
And when the antivirus guard comes around to check the file cabinet,
The cabinet is clean. He checks his list, sees nothing, and says, all clear here. The evidence was never stored in a permanent place.
is genuinely terrifying.
It gets worse. The NIST profile warns that AI is now being used to optimize this malicious code to fit into smaller and smaller chunks of memory, specifically to hide inside the noise of legitimate running programs. It's like perfect camouflage that's generated on the fly for each target.
Wow. And what's the third vector they mentioned?
The third vector is the one that ties it all together: AI agents. We talked about using agents for defense, but of course the bad guys have them too.
The same technology used for offense.
Precisely. We're talking about autonomous agents orchestrating the entire cyber kill chain. The source lists the steps we all know: reconnaissance, exploitation, credential harvesting, lateral movement through the network.
And the agent does this all by itself, without human intervention.
It can. It can be given a high-level goal, like find and exfiltrate the company's Q4 financial results, and it will autonomously operate tools like network scanners and password crackers to achieve that goal. It's like playing chess against a grandmaster computer. It's thinking 10 moves ahead, and it never, ever gets tired.
So the goal of SWORT is not just to react to alerts.
No, you cannot just react anymore. The document is clear on this. You have to prioritize proactive measures. You have to build resilience to withstand attacks that are faster and smarter than any human operator.
Let's go even darker for a second, back to the thwart focus area.
Yeah.
The malware evolution section referenced using benign file types to hide instructions.
Steganography?
Is that what that is? I've heard that term.
Effectively, yes. It's the art of hiding a message inside another message. The source text talks about the adversarial use of AI to hide tracks in plain sight. Imagine a simple image file. To you and to a standard antivirus program, it just looks like a picture of a cat.
It's a normal JPEG.
A normal JPEG. But buried in the pixel data, mathematically encoded in a way that an AI can generate and another AI can read, are the instructions to encrypt your entire hard drive.
And the AI on the receiving end, the malware agent that's already on the system, sees the cat picture come through, decodes the hidden message, and executes the attack.
Exactly. And because it's just a JPEG file, the firewall and email filters let it right through. That is the kind of optimization that the document is warning us about.
And this connects to the other point in the source about generative AI creating hyper-realistic, malicious websites.
This is all about scale. In the old days, if a scammer wanted to create a fake Bank of America login page, they had to code it by hand. It took time. Maybe the logo was a little pixelated or the grammar was slightly off.
There were tells.
There were tells. Now, they just give a prompt to an LLM, generate a perfect pixel-for-pixel clone of Bank of America's login page, but make the submit button send the username and password to my server instead.
And it's done in seconds.
Seconds. And then they can tell it, now generate 10,000 slightly different versions of it, each hosted on a different URL, to evade blacklists. This is the speed and scale factor again. Countermeasures that rely on blocking known bad URLs are completely useless when the bad URLs are being generated faster than you can possibly block them.
So what is the solution then in the thwart bucket? The document says to prioritize proactive measures. What does that even mean?
It means you have to build for failure. It means resilience. You have to assume the adversary will get in. You have to assume your user will click the link because the link in the email will look perfect.
So it's not about building a higher wall.
The wall will be breached. It's about what happens next. Your architecture must be zero trust. So even if Bob from accounting does click the link and his machine gets compromised, the malware shouldn't be able to use his credentials to move laterally to the main financial server. The system shouldn't trust him just because he's inside the network.
Which connects all the way back to the secure focus area.
Exactly. You see the cycle. Because we can't completely stop the thwart threat, the perfect AI-generated phishing email, we have to double down on our secure focus. Things like network segmentation and strong identity controls. They all feed each other.
It really is all connected. This brings us to the final section, Section 5, interrelationships, the connecting the dots part of the puzzle.
It's crucial.
The document has a figure 1, a diagram, that shows these three areas, secure, defend, thwart, as a sort of Venn diagram or a cycle.
Because they aren't separate steps. You don't do secure, then do defend. They are a continuously interacting system. They feed each other.
Okay, let's trace those lines then. Let's start with the relationship between secure and defend.
This one is pretty intuitive. If you secure your AI systems, meaning your data is clean, your models are robust and well-maintained, then your AI-enabled defenses become more trustworthy and reliable.
You can trust the tools you are using to defend yourself.
Exactly. If your security AI is built on a shaky foundation, you can't trust its recommendations. And conversely, you use the tools from the defend bucket to protect the systems in the secure bucket.
So you use your AI agents to monitor the logs and behavior of your other AI models.
Right. It's AI watching AI.
Okay, what about the relationship between secure and thwart?
This is a really important one. Thwart provides the threat intelligence that informs your secure strategy.
What do you mean by that?
If you know how the bad guys are using AI to attack systems, that's the thwart perspective, that tells you exactly what you need to focus on in the secure phase. You patch the specific holes that you know the adversary's AI agents are exploiting.
So if you learn that attackers are targeting a specific kind of data supply chain,
then you prioritize securing that supply chain. It lets you focus your resources where the actual threat is.
and finally, the connection between thwart and defend.
This is the arms race. This is the front line. Understanding the new AI-enabled attacks coming from the adversary, the thwart bucket, is what drives the need for AI-enabled defenses, the defend bucket.
Because humans are just too slow.
Simply put, yes. If the attack is happening at AI speed, the defense must also happen at AI speed. You have no choice.
It's fighting fire with fire.
It really is. So to summarize the whole interaction, secure is about managing the challenges of integrating any AI system into your world. Defend is about capitalizing on the opportunities that AI gives your security team. And thwart is about building resilience against the new and evolving threat landscape.
I want to spend another moment on that figure 1, the diagram you mentioned. The source text has labels for the overlaps. The intersection of all three circles in the middle is labeled Managing AI-related Cybersecurity Opportunities and Risks.
That's the sweet spot. That's the goal.
But let's look at the overlaps between just two of the circles. The overlap between secure and defend is labeled More Effective Cybersecurity Protections.
Right. Think of it this way. Secure gives you a strong foundation. You know your assets. You know your AI models are sound. Defend gives you the advanced tools to watch over them. If you have great AI defense tools, the defend part, but you don't even know where all your critical data is, the secure part, then you're basically watching an empty field.
You have a great guard, but you don't know what they're supposed to be guarding.
Exactly. And if you have a perfectly locked down system secure, but you are still using manual log reviews and human analysts for everything, no defend, you're just too slow to stop a modern attack. You need both to be effective.
The overlap between secure and thwart is labeled threat-informed security.
This is critical for any security program, but especially here. You cannot secure everything perfectly. You have a limited budget and limited time. Thwart tells you what the bad guys are actually doing.
It gives you your priorities.
It gives you priorities. Are they using deepfakes for authentication attacks? Okay, then spend your secure budget on stronger multi-factor authentication that's resistant to that. Are they poisoning data sets? Then spend your secure budget on data provenance and supply chain vetting. Fort gives you the intelligence to target your security efforts effectively.
And finally, the overlap between defend and thwart. This one is labeled AI-enhanced operations.
This is the battlefield. This is the dynamic layer. Thwart is the attack. Defend is the parry. This is where the real-time AI on AI combat happens. You are using your automated AI operations to counter their automated AI attacks.
It's fascinating how NIST has structured this. It's not just another checklist of controls. It's a strategic framework.
It is a strategic map. And frankly, if you look at the source text, specifically in the detailed tables where they list proposed priorities, you see a lot of priority 1 flags in that thwart column.
Oh, really? That's telling.
It's very telling. Things like authenticity and integrity and detecting anomalies. The document is practically screaming that if you ignore the thwart aspect, if you ignore the fact that the enemy now has AI too, your entire risk model is fundamentally broken.
There's a very sobering takeaway. You can't just buy a fancy new AI security tool and call it a day.
No, you have to understand the enemy. You have to understand your own system, and you have to understand the tool itself. Secure, defend, thwart, the whole cycle.
Well, I think we have truly unpacked the core of this document, from the high-level concepts of the 3 focus areas, all the way down to the scary details of memory-based malware.
It's been a journey, and we've only scratched the surface of Clause 2.1.
It has. So for everyone listening, the document is NIST IR 8596. It's still a draft, so this is your chance to go online and leave a comment if you have thoughts. But for now, just start thinking in these buckets. Secure, defend, thwart.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's a new way to see the world.
So let's wrap this deep dive up. We've covered the 3 focus areas. Secure, which is all about integration and supply chain management.
Defend, which is about opportunity and automation for your own teams.
And thwart, which is about understanding the adversary and building resilience. And just a final reminder to our listeners, this is based on the initial preliminary draft from December 2025. This is the bleeding edge of the conversation.
It is, and honestly, I see it as a call to action. Whether you are a CISO, a security engineer, or just someone curious about this space, you need to start looking at your own systems, your own company, through these 3 lenses.
I want to leave everyone with a final thought, specifically coming out of that thwart section, because it's the one that keeps me up at night.
I think I know where you're going with this.
We talked about malware that optimizes itself in real time. We talked about malware that can hide perfectly in a computer's memory. And we talked about our response, which is using our own agentic AI to hunt it down.
The AI arms race.
Right. So if the bad guys have an AI that is constantly evolving its attack methods, and we have an AI that is constantly evolving its defense methods to catch it, are we entering an era where cybersecurity is essentially just my AI fighting your AI in the silicon? Well, the humans just sit on the sidelines and watch the scoreboard?
That is the provocative question, isn't it? We might be moving to a world where the primary human role is purely governance, setting the rules of engagement, defining the ethical boundaries, while the machines themselves fight the war in the wires at a speed we can no longer comprehend.
Something to mull over. Thank you for listening to this deep dive into the NIST Cyber AI Profile. We will catch you on the next one.
Stay secure, everyone, and stay curious.
See you next time.